I'm going to show you the ultimate still life, product photography, food, drink, basically things that don't talk back at you camera. And the reason I'm going to show you this is because for years I couldn't quite get the images I wanted and I couldn't work out why. And I could see other people getting these images and I didn't know how they were doing it. And it does come down to kit. This is one of those rarities where, yeah, the kit matters. This kit here allows me to do everything I need as a commercial photographer working out of the UK. It is not the best of everything, but it's the best bang for buck at the level that I work at. So I shoot global campaigns, we do a bit of TV work and all the rest of it, but this is the best bang for buck yet. You can spend more, and I'm going to show you what you can get for more money. You can also spend less, and I'm going to give you some sort of starting points into this world of still life photography, because this here, this is not your average fare. This is not your normal camera. Well, part of it is, but it's not fully. I'm going to go through the whole rig, the whole setup, and explain to you what it is, why it is, and how all of this sort of good stuff works. Because if you don't know, you don't know, and I didn't know, and I couldn't work out why I couldn't do what I wanted to do. This is a technical camera. Now, this is not the biggest technical camera, and it's definitely not the smallest technical camera. Some people would say it's like a tilt-shift lens on steroids. It's not. It's far different to that. This is about as far away from a tilt-shift lens as a tilt-shift lens is from a standard lens. But this here, this is my camera. There are many like it, but this one is mine. I have built this over the years to get it exactly how I want it. There is one more upgrade we're going to make to it, and we'll get to that towards the end, hopefully I remember. But this is it. So, let's go through it. The whole thing is based around a GFX 100 megapixel back. There's going to be a whole video on resolution and why it's important, but this is the back. All that this back does is shutter speed and ISO. Anything else that this camera tells you it can do in this configuration is redundant. It is a shutter speed of 125th, because we always shoot with flash, which is why I have a pocket wizard up here. 125th of a second, and it's always 100 ISO. So really, this does nothing. It's redundant. It just fires and captures. It's just a digital back, but at a very, very good, cheap, affordable price point. I think you can get these for under £3,000 now, which is great. This also has the great benefit of it being a rotating back, like the old RB and RZ cameras. So you can rotate the back, portrait here, landscape here. Very useful when we're shooting mixed usage images. Rather than cropping down the center, we can just literally keep everything the same and just recompose in a different orientation. Very useful. The reason we use pocket wizards is because they are the best camera triggers available. These are in frequency, they always work. They are interchangeable across generations of kit. This is just a good bit of kit. You want one of these. So that's the back end. We've then got, this is a Cobra tether cable. Anyone who's ever tethered a GFX camera knows the plight. When it works great, but not always. You need a good tether cable. I was using Area 51. There's nothing wrong with Area 51. I just broke them all over the summer because, they get rolled over, they get run over, they get snapped, they get yanked on, all these sorts of things. It's then got a Tether Tools tether block on the back. This bugs me slightly because everything's black apart from the block, but this is the best tether block available. All the other ones are not as good on this camera as this one here. So that's the rear bit. Now, one of the great things with this Cambo system here, which is what we're using, is you can add accessories. This is a Cambo accessory 385, and it holds a Sony NPF battery thing, so I can have my battery here, and instead of using the rubbish little Fuji batteries, which last, hey Ted, a very small amount of time, we can use an actual proper big battery, which lasts, we get about 3 batteries a day done. Hey, is this your bone? There you go. That's really useful because we've got live view on all day. It's either on the monitors, it's in my tether trolley, which is back here. This tether trolley with the dog tail, this has often got live view on it for the stylist so they can see what we can see. Now the whole camera here is based around the Actus MV, which is all of this metal here. So we'll just move the bellows out. Lens at the front, that's a lens hood. Lens, camera, and then this just makes it a light-proof box. So we can focus and magnify on this. We have tilt and shift, rise and fall. We can move at the back, we can move at the front. It's great for micro adjustments on set. It lets you do some things that normal cameras don't. For example, we can look down at 45 degrees and instead of having a narrow depth of field, we can have a full depth of field by just correcting the focus plane. But then as well as doing that, as it disappears, you'll get the vanishing points. We can correct those vanishing points so it looks absolutely flat. We can take a hero shot looking up at a product without vanishing points. And I know someone's going to say, yeah, but you just keystone it in post. When there is text on a product, like the image I'm showing here, you can't keystone it because it warps the label. And these people have spent millions getting that label perfect. They don't want it warping, they want it perfect. And that's why we use technical cameras. There's a whole myriad of things we can do with this. Drink photography, you can be looking up but seeing over the drink. You can have a perfectly horizontal horizon of the drink so you can't see on top or underneath it, whilst also being at a slightly different height. There's so much you can do. The possibilities are endless. Often pointless, but endless. And the reason is, like, if I'm doing a test shoot, do I care if I can see a little bit at the top of the drink or not, or the bottom? Probably not. But if a client's in there and they go, I don't really want to be seeing this or that, you can fix it for them. It then also has this lovely lens hood on the front, which is adjustable, so we can get bigger lenses in there, smaller lenses like the one we have here. And then as we're doing these massive movements, what you don't want is an equal lens hood, because you'll start to get vignetting. So this way, you can bend it and concertina it. You can control the flare, and you can also control what's seen and what's not seen by the sensor. So that's very useful. That's a very, very nice little bit of kit. Cambo sent me this bit here, which I'm very grateful for. Thanks, Cambo. Because I bought one of their lenses, and I bought the 90mm Actar lens, which is sitting on the front in here. It's a very small little lens, it's just a little pancake. It's just got an aperture blade in it. There's no autofocus, there's no focus. It's a pre-focus lens with aperture. There's no shutter, there's nothing in there, so it's tiny. It's under a couple of grand actually. Beautiful resolution. And this here is absolutely good enough to shoot any campaign. Like, there's nothing that this camera here doesn't do. There's nothing which it can't do. It does it all. You can get better. We can replace this GFX back here with a phase 150. They are better digital backs. They're bigger sensors, more resolution, better color science. They're better in every way. We could buy a more expensive lens for the front, but to be honest, this already resolves more than the back anyway, so I don't need to. It wouldn't really be an upgrade until sensors get much better. Then it could be possible. The one thing I do need to upgrade is this. I've been using these Manfrotto Junior tripod heads for years. It's a bit underpowered. I need to buy a proper Cambo tripod head, like a geared one, because it holds it, but I'm a little bit... Exactly, Teddy. I'm a little bit anxious about it. It's not ideal. Now, this bit of kit here is what? 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8. It's about £10,000 camera. Not bad for a £10,000 camera. You can spend 10 grand on a camera and get far less camera for your money. But this is a £10,000 camera. Yes, we can go more with the phase, but we can also go less. They do a mini one of these where it's only got the front movements and not so much of the back. That's a cheaper part there. You can put a 5D Mark III on this. That's like a 600. You can get into this world. So for example, when I started, I bought a 5D SR, the smaller version of this Cambo MV, and then I bought a £200 RZ lens. So what we're looking at there is £1,000 for the body, 200 for that, £1,000, 2,200. You can get into the world of this here. And everything's interchangeable. So you can change the lens mount, you can change the camera mount at the back, you can put a digital back on this and just change the rear plane. There's a lot you can do with this just to slowly upgrade it. You don't have to go all in straight away. You can buy a bit at a time, add small pieces here and there. It doesn't have to be, here's everything all at once, great, let's go. It can be a much smaller thing. I think rather than buying a tilt chef lens, it's better to buy something like this. The smaller version for sure, where you've got, and the smaller one, you've got the move at the front here, the tilt, you've got some swing and you've got some rise and fall, and you've got a bit of shift at the back. That's a good way into this world. And I've shot global campaigns on that with a 5D SR. And if you can't afford a 5D SR at £1,000, you buy a 5D Mark II. You know, 20 megapixels is, when we're only shooting 4 megapixels at the biggest file size for deliverable, it's enough. It does the job. But this, I just want to share this with you because I didn't know this existed. Nobody told me. No YouTube channel, no photography magazine, no camera club went, by the way, the reason you can't do what you're doing is because you've got the wrong kit. This is what you need. This information just wasn't out there. So I'm not expecting this video to do masses of hits because if you didn't know you needed it, how would you know to search for it? And that's where I came from. It's the same with the stand. So this is being held on by a massive stand at the moment. When I started photography, I didn't know these big stands existed. They're called salon stands or studio stands or camera stands, which doesn't help matters. And because of that, I couldn't work out how people were doing these massive flat lays. I thought people were using C-stands and wobbling these cameras up and down on them. I didn't realise this is how you make sure you can do a massive composite without some doofus knocking the camera. It's difficult to know what you don't know because you don't know what to Google or to YouTube, which is why we try and do every now and again a video like this, which is explaining stuff, which I know this won't go well on YouTube because nobody knows what it is. So how can I possibly package this video up as an interesting, exciting thing when you don't know you need to know it? And that's part of the issue with learning photography online is it's an echo chamber. You just go round and round in circles being told the same information because it's hard to know what you don't know. This is what I didn't know, and this is what really made the difference. And of course, I had a career before these cameras. I shot with a 5D Mark II and a Zeiss Milvus. I shot that for years doing global campaigns. But I didn't get the big jobs and I didn't get the technical jobs because I didn't have the technical work to show that I could do it because I couldn't do it because I didn't know these were still a thing. Of course, I had a 4x5 film camera. I knew it was possible on film. I just didn't realise there was a digital alternative.